Hello ladies and gentlemen, FrameGame here with kind of a concept idea for a Nintendo game. So I've actually been thinking about this for a while now, and it would be so cool. So I got the idea from the both Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild, which, I haven't even played yet, but I got these idea from just like the trailers and whatever, and just talk in general about it. So the idea is Luigi's Mansion and like Luigi's Mansion City instead of Mansion. So it's like Luigi's City. And the idea of the game is that it's going with the theme of open world, kind of like Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are much more open than the previous Nintendo games. Sorry, the screen's kind of shaking. I'm holding it with one hand. But yeah, so the idea with that is the other games are open world, so why not continue it? And I thought, what would be cool is if you had a whole city to capture ghosts in instead of just a singular mansion. So the idea of the game is you start out in like a mansion at the very beginning of the game. Luigi wakes up and he's like, gosh, how did I get here? I don't know. And you start going through the mansion and you find the Poltergeist 5000, but you don't find EGAD. And you're like, my goodness, where is EGAD? And like attached to it is like a paper with instructions on it. And you're like, okay. And so you start using it to catch the ghosts that are within that first mansion that you wake up in. And as you're going through, you get keys and locked doors, and eventually you get to a room that has a Nintendo Switch on a table. Because you know how in the other games you get like a DS, or you get the Game Boy Horror, and you use those things as your map and stuff, and to communicate with EGAD. So in this one you find a Nintendo Switch sitting on a counter or table or whatever, and it's in like the docking station connected to a TV, and the TV turns on, and it's like a message left behind by EGAD. So it's not actually EGAD communicating with you. It's like a message that's like, I was here, and I left the poltergeist here in case you ever find this Luigi. And like, I gotta keep moving, the ghosts are after me, And so you're like, why are the ghosts after him? And where is he? What's going on? Why are they attacking? And all this stuff, and so you have all these questions that are unanswered, but he leaves you a message, talking about take the Switch out of the dock and you can use it because it has like a map on it of the city and all this stuff, so you pull the Switch out of the dock and Luigi uses that as his device like he would the DS or the Game Boy Horror. And so you start using that and you're walking around, you continue catching ghosts, and you notice you can't get out of the mansion. Like, the mansion's locked. And you're like, oh gosh, I guess there's something else I gotta do in this mansion before I can get out. And you continue, like, collecting keys and things to get out of this mansion, when you end up finding, like, someone in the basement or something, like a person or a Delfino or whatever. I think it would be cool to have Delfinos, and I'll explain that in a sec. But you find someone in the basement, and they're like, please, help me. I've been trapped inside my mansion forever because of these ghosts. And, you catch all these ghosts, and he comes out from hiding inside of a cupboard or whatever, and he's like, thank you so much. And then he talks about how the mayor set up some kind of a safe haven for the city's people. And he's like, I'm gonna go there, meet me there, and I'll give you kind of a prize for saving me. And you're like, all right, I'll meet you there. And so he marks it on your map, or you mark it on your map, or whatever, Luigi. And then he gives you the key that unlocks the front door of the house. And so you get out of the house, or the mansion. And that's when you're like, there's a whole city. You can go to any of these houses, anywhere you want. And it's, open world. And maybe there's multiple cities with different types of people in them. From Delfinos to other new creatures or whatever. Maybe start with Delfinos, just, for familiarity's sake, to kind of ease people into the game. But in the first city be like smaller, like the tutorial city. But you go to this place where it's like the safe haven that he was talking about, and you find this mayor, and he's like, oh, we built this place, as like a bunker for in case, Bowser attacked or whatever. We didn't expect ghosts, though. And he's like, so we bunkered everybody up, but 50 people still are unaccounted for, or whatever. And these people could be like the gold Skeletas for The Legend of Zelda or Ocarina of Time, where it's like a side quest that you gotta save all these people, and each person you save gives you a gift that like increases your health, gives you a ton of money or whatever. And then the other idea is you would also get items from people that you save, like upgrades and stuff. Kind of like in Breath of the Wild, you get like a new sword that does 6 damage instead of 3, and you slowly get stronger. But in Luigi's Mansion, you get like vacuum attachments, like to the end of your vacuum, that like makes the suction power stronger. Or you get like maybe your vacuum only sucks for so long and it runs out of like power or something, and you have to let it recharge, like the flashlights. And so there could be another item where it's like, oh, battery enhancement or battery increaser, and it like makes your battery last longer so you can suck up ghosts for longer or whatever. Or maybe you have like the flashlight too that sees invisible things and stuff, and maybe you gotta choose, oh, do I put it towards the flashlight? Do I put it towards the vacuum? That might be a little too complex, but at the same time, they're doing something similar with Zelda, who knows? But I think it would be a really cool addition to it. And I also feel they seem to be aiming more towards older audiences right now with the Switch and with like the Breath of the Wild and the whole open world thing. And so maybe they'll make it creepier, a creepier thing, kind of like the idea that I got for the city. I got that idea from the what are they called? Silent Hill games. I got the idea from the Silent Hill games where you're like, the first game you're in this big old city, and you're like, oh, why am I here? And you go through all these houses and lock them, get different items, and find the different save points and stuff. So I think it would be cool to do a similar idea with Luigi's Mansion, but have it be a bit more creepier for like older audiences and stuff, to draw in people my age. Or they could even do a thing where it's like they could keep it kiddish, I'm fine with that, but I think it would be super cool to kind of make it a bit more on the scary horror side. But aside from that, not only would you have the side missions of saving people, but then inside of houses and things, you'll find more switches and docks connected to TVs that are like messages left behind by EGAD, and he's like, oh, now I'm here and I'm trying to do this, and so you're like following his trail. But then he'll also leave you like missions, right? Whereas, oh, the power is off to the whole city. If only I could get into the power plant and then I could set it back up, but these ghosts keep chasing me away. And so you go to the power plant as Luigi and turn it back on, turn on the generators and all that stuff, and return power to the city, which will unlock a bridge that opens up to another part of the city or something. And then eventually you can go to the water plant and turn on the water that'll like do something else, and allow some other passage to some other area. And so you'd slowly unlock the whole city, and you'd be able to choose like what order you do things in, which houses you go to, and stuff like that. It would be so cool. And then maybe there could be multiple cities, kind of like in the open world Skyrim, where you have like multiple cities throughout the place, but these different cities have different people in them. And then the idea that I had with the Delfinos was, if it's more of a creepy kind of thing, maybe the Delfinos are like cursed by these ghosts. And so this curse, or whatever, is like making them look creepier and stuff, and is like hurting them in a way. And like, how they have like the flowers and plants and stuff on their heads, maybe those are like wilted and they kind of look creepier, And then once you save the whole city, then it becomes bright again, and it's like, oh, you saved the Delfinos, And then their flowers grow and stuff. And I think that would be a pretty cool addition as well, because that would make it creepier as it's during the portion where like all the ghosts are infesting the city, but then it feels a lot more fulfilling that like you saved these people, and not only like did you save them from torment of ghosts, but you saved them like physically and stuff from the curse or whatever placed on them by the ghosts. So I just thought it would be a cool idea. I kind of wanted to run it over with you guys and see what you all think. Like, would that be a good Nintendo game? Should they do that? Do an open world Luigi's Mansion or Luigi City? Because, they've done a lot of stuff like that with Zelda and with Mario. They're going to be doing that. So it's like, why not keep the trend going? Why not open world Luigi? And keep that going, and maybe make another open world game that originally wasn't open world. It's like the possibilities are endless. You could have so many cool games with the concept of just adding the open world element, and it makes the player feel like the Switch is worth more money, because then you get more hours out of each game. you know, which I feel like is also why they're doing this, to really sell the Switch, to be like, open world Zelda, you'll play it as long as Skyrim, you know? And Skyrim, I still have like thousands of hours in it, and I still haven't done everything in the game. I still haven't even gotten to the Dragonborn DLC yet. Like, oh my goodness, that game is long. It's ridiculous. And so I could see Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and stuff like that being my Skyrim again, where it's like thousands of hours and still haven't done everything, you know? But it's just an idea. So let me think of what you guys, you know, think about this idea. Do you think maybe, oh, this is not a good direction, that maybe they should stop the open world stuff? Do you think the open world's like the best thing that's ever happened with Nintendo, and that they should keep going with more games, more open world? Or do you think maybe they should go more mature and make Luigi's Mansion more scary for horror type audiences, you know? But let me know down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!